Today, Napheesa Collier went on First Take, and when we're talking women's basketball, you can't help but to bring up Caitlin Clark. It's just the way the world works.
When talking about women's basketball, one name dominates the conversation: Caitlin Clark. And that dominance extends beyond the court. It's shaping the entire WNBA landscape. But not everyone is thrilled about it. WNBA star Napheesa Collier recently voiced her frustration over the Indiana Fever's national TV schedule.
Molly Karam, you win the award for the dumbest question of the day. Napheesa Collier, you win the award for the foolish answer of the day. And Stephen A. Smith,
I mean, the reason why they have more national TV games because 18 of the top 20 most viewed games last year were the Indiana Fever. It was literally like, if I'm not mistaken, it was if you don't count the All-Star game, there was a Las Vegas Aces and Chicago Sky game that, again, was directly before one of the Fever games which had more viewers in it, which was literally right before a Fever game. So a game that led into a Fever game.
Her argument? It's unfair that one team gets so much coverage while others are left in the shadows. But is this really about fairness, or is something bigger at play? Let's be real. Networks aren't choosing the Fever because they like them more. They're choosing them because you are choosing to watch them. The numbers don't lie. Clark's games are smashing viewership records that the league has never seen before.
Napheesa, is it fair while my employer, ESPN, says, man, Molly, I want to pay you as much money as I possibly can, but the only way we can do that is with advertisers, is with bread. So to help your bottom line, ESPN needs to boost their bottom line. And unfortunately, Caitlin Clark, she raises everybody's bottom line.
The reason why they have more national TV games because 18 of the top 20 most viewed games last year were the Indiana Fever. It was literally like, if I'm not mistaken, it was if you don't count the All-Star game, there was a Las Vegas Aces and Chicago Sky game that, again, was directly before one of the Fever games which had more viewers in it, which was literally right before a Fever game.
This isn't favoritism. It's simple business. Collier's comments came during an appearance on ESPN's First Take, where she was asked about the Fever getting the lion's share of national TV spots. Instead of acknowledging the cold, hard reality of sports broadcasting, she called it crazy that defending champions like the New York Liberty weren't getting more exposure. Let's break this down. The Indiana Fever will have 41 of their 44 games broadcast nationally this season. The Liberty, just 32. That sounds unfair on the surface, until you realize why this is happening.
A game that led into a Fever game. No other time when the Sky played the Aces, but the one that led into the Fever game, and it was Game 5 of the finals. That was literally it. They were the only games that had more viewers than Caitlin Clark games. Because if you look in the way they're with college basketball and the women's, yeah, the game has not been as big as it was with Caitlin Clark, but there's a lot more viewers in 2023, so you can see there's a positive growth there. And you can see all these positive things. And I think that's the way the WNBA is going.
Last season, 18 of the top 20 most watched WNBA games featured the Fever. The only two exceptions? Game 5 of the WNBA Finals and an Aces versus Sky game that just happened to air before a Fever matchup. Networks aren't in the business of charity. They follow the money. If Caitlin Clark's games consistently draw over 1 million viewers while other games struggle to hit 200,000, what do you think a TV executive is going to choose? And this isn't new. Stephen A. Smith shut down Collier's argument by pointing to history. Back in the 80s, the NBA built its brand around Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Then, Michael Jordan came along, and the league pivoted to him. Not because he had more rings, but because his popularity was off the charts. The same thing is happening now with Clark. Whether the WNBA's veterans like it or not, she's bringing unprecedented attention to the league. Instead of fighting it, they should embrace it. But what made Collier's take even more confusing was her suggestion that other teams should get more TV coverage, without taking anything away from the Fever. That's just not how TV scheduling works. There are only so many slots. Giving one team more airtime inherently means another team gets less. This entire debate reveals a deeper issue in the WNBA. There's a growing divide between the league's established stars and the new wave of attention Clark is generating. It's less about fairness and more about hierarchy. Certain players were used to having the spotlight, and now it's shifting in a major way. But here's the thing. This isn't a bad thing. If you're a WNBA player, Clark's rise isn't hurting you. It's an opportunity. Every time you step on the court against the Fever, you're playing in front of millions of potential new fans. That's free exposure most athletes would kill for. Look at what happened when the Fever faced Connecticut in the playoffs. 3 million people tuned in. That's not normal for the WNBA. Even at the college level, Clark was setting records, with her NCAA tournament games pulling in between 14 and 19 million viewers. This isn't a phase. This is a once-in-a-generation shift in how people engage with women's basketball. And let's talk money. Right now, the WNBA's TV deal is worth around $60 million per year. Compared to major men's leagues, that's pocket change. But with Clark boosting ratings like never before, the next TV contract could be hundreds of millions of dollars. That directly translates to higher salaries, bigger endorsement deals, and more financial security for every WNBA player, including Collier herself. So why fight it? Why push back against something that's elevating the league? The smartest players aren't complaining. They're capitalizing. They see Clark's popularity as a chance to showcase their own talent on a massive stage. This whole conversation about fairness misses the point entirely. The WNBA isn't playing favorites. The networks aren't playing favorites. The viewers are deciding. The numbers tell the story. Clark's games are must-watch television, and that's why they're getting airtime. And let's not pretend this is unique to the WNBA. The NBA doesn't give the most national TV games to the reigning champions just because they won. If that were the case, the Denver Nuggets would be leading in primetime slots instead of the Lakers and Warriors. That's just not how this works. At the end of the day, this isn't about Caitlin Clark versus the rest of the WNBA. It's about whether the league seizes this golden opportunity or squanders it over petty arguments. The reality is simple. More eyeballs on Clark means more eyeballs on the WNBA as a whole. And when the next TV deal gets signed, when salaries rise, when endorsement money flows in, everyone benefits. So players have two choices. They can complain about TV schedules, or they can take advantage of the biggest moment in WNBA history. Smart players know which side they should be on.